Well, good afternoon and welcome to today's Younib TV News at 1 Bulletin. We present the most recent updates from across the country, highlighting significant occurrences in the national arena where the country marked Mashujaa Day celebration yesterday in Kitui County. Remain with us as we analyze the events that unfolded during the national feat. I am Joseph Kamau and these are the highlights.
Become not only a food secure nation, but also a major exporter of farm produce in the coming years. We have many markets that we have negotiated. We have the American markets under ACOA. We have the Chinese market that is now open for us. We have the European market that we have negotiated under the Economic Partnership Agreement. We have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area market of 1.4 billion that we can export to.
Take this opportunity to renew the heartfelt condolences of the people of Senegal to the brotherly people of Kenya and the passing of Mr. Raila Odinga, a former Prime Minister and a great leader in the political history of Kenya.
Key people have been honored and by the head of state himself. One of them is the PS Treasurer, who was there on matters environment. I think that was a big surprise to many people, and the PS himself is very happy.
Welcome to the broadcast. Now, President Dr. William Samoei Ruto has awarded 184 heroes during this year's Mashujaa celebrations held in Kitui County. While delivering the awards at the Kitui Sub-State House, the President stated that the individuals recognized in 14 units were honored for their contributions and commitment to the nation's development. Among Kenya's honor in the sports sector include Harambee Stars Aboud Omar, Ryan Ogam, Brian Omondi, and Alpha Onyango.
We was among the founding members of the Peace Education Company.
Inculcating peace in the minds of the youngsters is much more stronger and sustainable than doing it through adults. That is why I'm being honored by the President.
Following my active participation in promoting sustainable peace across the globe. As you may recall that earlier this year, we had the 14th edition of the Pan-African Leadership Symposium and Honors, which was bordered on consolidating peaceful coexistence in Africa.
Key people have been honored and by the head of state himself. One of them is the PS Treasurer, who was there on matters environment. I think that was a big surprise to many people, and the PS himself is very happy.
Now, still on Mashujaa, the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has received the highest accolade during this year's Mashujaa celebration. President William Ruto announced the conferment of the Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart upon him during the Mashujaa feat held in Kitui County. The prestigious Golden Heart Award is Kenya's greatest honor. A Gazette notice dated 20th October 2025 confirmed the bestowment in recognition of Odinga's contribution to Kenya.
Yesterday, we bid farewell to one of our country's most consequential and impactful sons, a towering statesman, a resolute patriot, and a quintessential hero, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, our former Prime Minister. This is the man, the legend and the Pan-Africanist to whom we dedicate this Mashujaa Day.
Take this opportunity to renew the heartfelt condolences of the people of Senegal to the brotherly people of Kenya and the passing of Mr. Raila Odinga, a former Prime Minister and a great leader in the political history of Kenya.
Our former Prime Minister was a foremost preacher of national unity. He tirelessly reminded leaders and citizens alike that our overarching identity is not defined by tribe, region, or creed, but by the sacred bond of being Kenyan. He often urged us to think Kenya first.
Now, President William Ruto has initiated an ambitious economic reform strategy, setting the stage for what he refers to as the next stage of development in the nation, which is focused on enhancing the country's food security, industrial capacity, and modern infrastructure. While addressing the audience at this year's Heroes Day celebrations held at Idhokwe Stadium in Kitui County, the president stated that his administration would focus on ensuring to rise above political divides to facilitate significant change in the country.
I have arrived at a clear conclusion that although we have made commendable progress in stabilizing the nation over the last 3 years, the time has come to take the country to the next level. And to do so, we must act decisively on at least 3 national priorities. Grain-fed farming can no longer sustain our growing population or our aspirations. That is why we have now set an ambitious target to build at least 50 mega dams across Kenya and to bring at least 2 million acres under irrigation. Let me emphasize that this is not a far-fetched dream. It is a necessity that must be realized within the next decade. To become not only a food-secure nation, but also a major exporter of farm produce in the coming years. We have many markets that we have negotiated. We have the American markets under ACOA. We have the Chinese market that is now open for us. We have the European market that we have negotiated under the Economic Partnership Agreement. We have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area market of 1.4 billion that we can export to. Right. To transform Kenya into a prosperous, job-creating, wealthy nation, we must become a country that makes things, not merely buys or imports them. A country that exports finished products, not raw materials. A country where industries absorb labor, spur innovation, and expand wealth across every region. We are unwavering in our vision that everything Kenya produces must be processed in Kenya. Already, a lot of research is going on the development of the first nuclear energy plant in Kenya, in Siaya County. With abundant energy, we shall power factories, light every home, and drive Kenya to become the industrial hub of East Africa and the continent.
President William Ruto has committed to leading development initiatives aimed at stimulating the economy and social progress of the Ukambani region. While addressing attendees at the Mashujaa Day festivities held at Idhokwe Stadium in Kitui, Ruto promised to return to the area for a working visit in 2 weeks' time. He criticized individuals whom he claims are fostering divisive politics in the region, which has obstructed development for many years. He urged the community to stay united and move away from tribal leadership.
Zijazo, mimi nitakuwa hapa. Mimi nitakuwa hapa. Na nitakuwa hapa makusudi kwa sababu Kitui, Ukambani kwa siku nyingi imewachwa nyuma. Na zamani ya kusema sijui bomwe, sijui betwe, Ukambani ikabaki nyuma, haitatendeka tena. Nasikia hata kuna wengine wanajaribu kueneza siasa ndogo ati maskini jeuri. Iko maskini jeuri ya kufanya nini? Tumepata pesa bilioni 9 ya kukamilisha hiyo damu ya Thwake. By April, May next year, that dam will be complete na itasaidia watu wa Kitui, watu wa Makueni na watu wa Machakos. Between now and February next year, hizo manyumba 16,000 tutakuwa tumeziunganisha stima, na baadaye tutakubaliana, baada ya hiyo awamu tutapanga tena vile tutahakikisha kwamba stima inafika kwa manyumba zenu na tunaondoa giza, ndio shetani ashindwe. 405 wamejisajili kwa watu 1,100,000, kumaanisha 36% ya watu wa Kitui wamejiandikisha. Mimi nataka niwaulize wananchi wa Kitui, kujiandikisha ni bure.
Well, that story takes us for a short break. We'll be back with more news updates. Welcome back. Thank you for keeping it Younib TV. Now, even as the nation commemorated the 62nd anniversary of the Heroes Day Mashujaa yesterday, opposition coalition leaders did not attend the event held at the newly constructed Ithokwe Sports Complex in Kitui County. However, the absence of Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka from the national celebrations, especially considering that Kitui County is his stronghold, has sparked political tensions between Kenya First leadership and the opposition coalition.
It's very, very necessary that Kalonzo needed to have been included in the program. It was very sad on Saturday, when we were celebrating, Friday, when we were celebrating Raira's, at Nyayo Stadium, that Kalonzo did not even give a chance. It took the public, outcry to have him included in the program in Bondo. Reason being that Kalonzo was the right-hand man of Raila Odinga for the last 15 years.
If he attended the meeting today, many Kenyans could have concluded that Mheshimiwa Kalonzo has become part and parcel of the broad-based government. And the rumor of an impending reshuffle perhaps could include him. To avoid that, perhaps he chose to stay away. So politics is about perception.
It was questionable how she could miss in the program those who are doing the national planning from either Oburu's side or Professor Kidiki's side. I don't think that was an oversight. I want to argue that it is a very deliberate effort to begin marginalizing this opposition. The idea of marginalizing Kalonzo in his backyard doesn't really go down well. And as a result, I would say that we need to go back to the drawing board and think about Kenya.
In the absence of Raila in the country, Kalonzo is now the senior most politician. Kalonzo controls a bloc, actually much of Lower Eastern, the way Raila controlled Nyanza. Kalonzo is the only standing most experienced politician. He's actually, in terms of political experience, is older than the president. Kalonzo is slow to anger, if you have not seen that. He's not quick to jump into situations. It takes his time. Whether you see that as weighing options, not knowing where to go, but we have seen him before taking a position which people never expected. This time round, it looks to be his time, if you asked me. And probably he is the man to beat in 2027, if you asked me.
Empower Kalonzo to fight for the president, empower Mother to fight for the president, empower Ruto to fight for the president, empower, so that we have 1,000 flowers blossoming and Kenya look beautiful. One flower does not make a bouquet. So, and this is simply where the ideology that we seem to be harkening back the one-party dictatorship of Kanu.
On other news, a group of Nairobi residents celebrated Mashujaa Day by enjoying festivities at various recreation facilities throughout the city. Uhuru Park was buzzing with activity as families came together to commemorate the occasion, accompanied by appeals to the leaders to follow the example set by the late Raila Odinga and prioritize the nation over personal interests.
Leo nimekuja hapa kucelebrate Mashujaa Day na penda skating, nimekuja kujifunza kidogo.
Ili kwamba kama mashujaa kama kina Raila, serikali imetuambia kwa hapa state function ya kuwazika, lakini walipokuwa hai sio kama walikuwa wanashughulika nao. Tumeelewa sasa wakiwapea state function kuwazika na kwa hapa eri njema kwenda kulala sala, lakini walipokuwa wazima sio kama walipata nao hivyo.
Kwa muda mwingi sana mashujaa wengi husaulika sana, ndio inafika mahali watu au mashujaa watakapopata shida ndio wanakumbukwa. Mimi ningependa kwamba serikali ya kwamba ikumbuke hao mashujaa kama bado wangali hai.
Katika jambo hilo la kuwaenzi mashujaa wetu, naona pia tumelegea kidogo, tunawasherekea wakati wamekufa wengine. Niko napendekeza pia wale ambao wako wafikiwe, wasaidiwe, na wakishasaidiwa pia yale walikuwa wanapigania sana kama yale Raila Amolo Odinga alikuwa anapigania, hao mashujaa wote yakiwekwa, yakifuatiliwa na yakifatwa, tutakuwa tumeshukuru kama nchi ya Kenya.
Maisha vile hali imekuwa ngumu, at least watengeneze uchumi ya Kenya imekuwa ngumu zaidi.
Yangu ni Raila Odinga, the late Raila Odinga mwenye ametuacha, na namshukuru sana, ama nashukuru kazi yake yenye amekuja kutusaidia, ametufaitia sana.
Shujaa wangu ni ule mmoja tu, Raila Amolo Odinga. Namsherekea sana hata kama ameenda, bado ni shujaa. He fought for democracy. I love that guy to the end. Even to eternity, Raila is still my shujaa.
Ningesherekea shujaa wetu kutoka kaunti la Garissa ambaye ni Adan Duale. Vile ameweza kupigania tukapata uwanja wa mpira kubwa hapo kwa town, na ameweza kufanya watoto wengi.
Now let's dive into matters sports. Now Elizabeth Onyengo and Alicia Kipsoi triumphed in the 21-kilometer women's category during the satellite half marathon races of the Standard Chartered Marathon held in Mombasa. More than 700 participants took part in the event, which took place at the Mama Ngina waterfront grounds. The races signified the commencement of the 2025 edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon scheduled for Sunday, October 26th of this year at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi. The Mombasa satellite races featured various categories including 5-kilometer, 10-kilometer and 21-kilometer races.
I wanted to run 10 but nikakosa space, so I did 21. From there I thought okay, I should do 21. So that's why nimekuwa specify kwa 21. This is my second 21. My target was to run below, I'm still running 140, but I'm hoping to run 130 by PR.
Naendelea kutransit from half nikienda mpaka full marathon. So kwa zoezi niko naye, najua sijafika mahali nafaa nifike, but I'll go back niangalie mahali nilimake mistake, kwa nini sikuachieve time mzuri, juu hiyo time haijakuwa bado mzuri bado. Lazima niende nyuma, niweke mazoezi kabisa, nitie bidii, nihakikishe kuwa ninaingia katika rekodi ya dunia kama wenzangu.
The reason why we came to Mombasa, obviously, as a bank, we've been in Mombasa for over 100 years. This is a key market for us. But over and above that, as we gear up to the main marathon, which is next week, we normally carry out different satellite runs in preparation to that. And Mombasa is a key place for us. So it's really to come back and say thank you to the people of Mombasa.
Well, that sports news brings us to the end of our news bulletin at 1. My name is Joseph Kamau. Stay tuned for our next bulletin at 9.